My name is Dan Schmitt. This is Team Chicago Challenge. Wauseon, Ohio, right off the turnpike. Maybe 160, 180 miles from Chicago. It's on the western part of Ohio, the old Northwest Territory. And we're here for vintage motorcycle racing. They got a huge swap meet. I'm going to try to get over there and get some footage of what's going on at the swap meet. Racing motorcycles over here. Got some board track racers, got some Speedway bikes. Going to try to cover as much as I can. And I think this is going to be a great show. So got some helmet cam, I hope. And I hope my Triumph works perfectly. It's starting right up. So it looks like we're going to have a great day. Wauseon, it's a hot day in July in Ohio.
We'll exit off of turn number 3. When you're done racing, go around to turn number 3. Don't race around there. Keep in mind you may have some slower bikes that are still racing, so don't shut off once you get the checkered flag. Do not shut off, but go on around and exit on turn 3. We will enter on the front straightaway, right here where the tents are. It says track gate. That's where you come on the track.
I have to have stories to tell. So if you're in a rivalry with the guy in the gate next to you, I need to know about that this afternoon, not 5 minutes before you go. If you following your father's footsteps, riding your father's bike, bringing it in this pickup truck, I need to know all that stuff. So if I walk around, please stick out your hand and say, nice to meet you, get in here, let me tell you a story for 5 minutes, so I have something to say throughout the evening. That's how I want to help you this evening. And then if there's anything else that I can do, just feel free to ask. So thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to a good time. Be safe and go out there and win. Do something fun. Thanks.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Well, that was the riders meeting. This is a national championship antique motorcycle race, Wauseon, Ohio. And right after referee, the announcer is Griff Allen. Now, I'm an old friend of Griff Allen from the WERA National Endurance Series and National Challenge Series. Griff worked as an announcer. I was surprised to see Griff, but I remember he is from Ohio, and he does want to present the best show. He wants to know what the riders are all about, and he wants to learn something about flat track racing. Now looking at the board track bikes. These are bikes built in the teens, pre-teens, through the 20s. Board track racing was racing on 2x4 built tracks, no clutch. So they're going to start with a rolling start as they gather together. 11 bikes to meet the challenge of this cushion half mile. Patrick Murphy on a Harley Davidson, John Rhodes on Excelsior, Stephen LaPole on a Harley, Carl Estes on a Harley, Kurt Mertens on a Harley, Kenneth Curtis on a Harley, Wayne Albertson, Michael Terry, he's on Excelsior. Harley is Mike Longoria jumping up front. It looks like Carl Estes on that B52 right with him. On that Cyclone, I think it's a Harley Davidson. It looks like Pat Murphy. What a great race jumping out front. We'll try to read the numbers off these bikes. Some of the bikes have the number mounted on the front axle. Moving up front now, that's John Rose. Right with him on that Cyclone, which is a Harley Davidson special bike that looks like Patrick Murphy. Patrick Murphy, I remember from last year, flying out here, but he's got some competition. Some riders are new, first time on a cushion track, first time on these antique motorcycles. But up front, John Rose continues to lead on the charge, though. That's Patrick Murphy. Yeah, beautiful yellow Cyclone. See if I can spot any of the other bikes, any other riders. We've got a battle going right to the end. Got this beautiful Cyclone going in the last corner. Last corner, Patrick Murphy, John Rose down to the end. Looks like the Cyclone went on to pick up the win. The Harley Davidson, Patrick Murphy, second place, John Rose, third place on a Harley, Steve LaPole, Carl Estes was fourth.
And now we're going to talk to the rider of the Big Jesus 151 JD Harley.
Longoria, Lebanon, Ohio. I'm riding Big Jesus, number 151. 1925 Harley Davidson JD motor, 1200 cc, beautiful monster. Running with the Bushman Racing team, with Carl Estes. We're having a great time today, and the track is fantastic. Can't be beat. My first board track sanctioned race. Excited as I'll be.
All right, so tell
B52 is a 29 1500 cc Harley Davidson JD. That one's all been completely refabricated and basically built up from the ground up. New frame, original motor, but it's a monster. The other one's been ridden a couple of times. We got another motor in it. And then this is its maiden mission, basically, with the 1200 cc. And it's riding like a Cadillac. I wish I had a little bit more torque, but it's fun. A lot of fun.
Let's watch the final event for these priceless Ford track racers.
up front, that Cyclone, Patrick Murphy on the Harley Davidson. Right with him is Carl Estes on that JD, built out the 1500. That is the B52. Patrick Murphy. Got a battle going on for third place. It's Steve Lapoide against Mike Longoria. We see Carl Estes now taking the lead with that B52. Battle for third again. We got Steve Lapoide battling with Mike Longoria on that Big Jesus 151. Fifth place looks like John Rhodes. Kurt Mertens is running sixth. Kenneth Curtis is running in seventh. Eighth place is Michael Terry. Ninth place is Wayne Albertson. We got Harleys, we got Excelsiors. What a field. Coming out of the last corner, picking up the win, it is Carl Estes. Also, his teammate, Mike Longoria, picked up third. So that team is first and third on their Harley-Davidson JDs. Patrick Murphy on that Cyclone Harley-Davidson ran second. Now, the big feature event, the one race I came out to see, the Hummer class, 165s, 175 Harley-Davidson Hummers, and out front is my dear friend, that's right, Linda Bloom is leading on that numbered 98 Harley. And in last place, that's Craig Brecken. Craig Brecken seems to have an engine problem. At this point, Linda is stretching her lead. What a great ride. Linda is leading over Alan Lyons. Linda from Schaumburg. Alan Lyons from Springfield, Illinois. Third place is Wayne Albertson. He's from Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. As we see Linda Bloom stretching that lead. But picking up the win, it is Linda Bloom. And now, what I consider one of the feature events, jumping out front, this is the Hummer class, 175 vintage bike, Harley-Davidson Hummers. Jumping up front, it's Alan Lyons from Springfield, Illinois. Second place, my dear friend, Linda Bloom. Linda Bloom from Schaumburg, Illinois. And she's on that Al Bloom built Schulte Engineering Rex Stages Harley-Davidson 175 Hummer. Still up front, heading down the front straightaway. Alan Lyons making the move now down on the inside. It is Linda Bloom. Linda Bloom trying that low line, trying to get by Alan Lyons. Linda Bloom making the move on the inside on the front straightaway as the crowd goes wild. A great number of spectators out here in Wauseon. This huge swap meet and motorcycle races. Linda Bloom making a move on the inside, on the outside, it is Alan Lyons. Alan Lyons still up front. Linda Bloom trying to make the move. Now in the scene. Really flying out there, catching this front pack and making a race on it. It is Craig Brecken from Sparta, Michigan. Three-man battle, or two-man and one-woman battle for the lead. Lightweight Hummer class, 165, 175. Linda Bloom's up front. Alan Lyons running second. Craig Brecken trying to make the move. He looks like he gets around Alan Lyons. Will he get by Linda Bloom to the line? And the checkered flag, it is Linda Bloom picking up the win. Second place, Alan Lyons, Craig Brecken, who finally got that bike running. Linda Bloom, last year's champ, the champ in 2009, and now the champ in 2010. Rex Stage, Schulte Engineering, Al Bloom built, 175 Harley-Davidson Hummer. I believe it is a 1952 model. And now we're going to run across the track to the huge swap meet. First vehicle we're looking at, this is a Erie County Sheriff service car, Harley-Davidson 45. Don't know what year it is, but it belongs to the Erie County Sheriff's Department. Now we're looking at 1936 Knucklehead. 36 was the first year for the Harley-Davidson Knucklehead. And according to the owner, this was one of the first 5 built that year. Here's a nice looking Simplex entry-level bike and a 175 Harley-Davidson Hummer. And now we had the opportunity to talk to Dan McGill and his 3 great motorcycles.
Danny McGill, out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, so what is that over there?
It's a 1910 Harley Davidson.
Okay.
All original paint, single cylinder, belt drive, runs like a top.
Wow, I rode one of them. Jim Kirstein's got one. You know Jim Kirstein?
From the dealer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think he's got a 9, right? But still a single with the belt.
Right.
Okay, then what's this one?
1911.
Wow.
Belt drive twin.
Okay.
One of the very early twin cylinders, Harleys.
All original paint too?
Original paint.
Wow, where'd you find these things?
Well, I've been doing this a long time.
Uh-huh.
Searching around, hunting
Do
around.
you find these in garages and stuff like that, or?
And some in pieces and some in garages.
Right,
and,
right,
you know,
right.
None of them were complete when I got
Right.
them. I had to find some parts.
Okay, and what is this little find here?
1901 Mitchell.
Wow, no.
Motor bicycle.
And where'd you find that?
I built this bike. Come up with the motor first, found the bicycle, grafted the motor to the bike,
Uh-huh,
made some of the parts for it, gas tank, oil tank,
right.
you know,
But that motor's original.
original motor,
Single cylinder.
single cylinder.
Now what do they do for carburation here?
It's got a mixing valve. There's no bowl to it, but it's just a dripper, a calculated drip.
Right, right.
Spark advance, speed it up, slow it down. The carburetor has no adjustment to it. For
Exactly.
twisted rawhide leather belt drive.
Wow.
Some original Mitchell tools. Script Mitchell wrenches.
Right.
Nice original saddle.
So some of this you made from pictures?
Yeah, I made the motor mounts. I made
Right,
the gas
right,
tank
right,
and the
right.
oil tank.
Right.
Mhm. I made the exhaust system. Inspired me to build this motorcycle is doing a lot of research into the history of Harley-Davidson. As the story went, they started by building a small motor and putting it on a bicycle. And that's where my interest started with this. Because I was curious, how could that have been? How strong could that motor bicycle have run? What kind of power could it have produced? Yes, then I had an opportunity and I found that motor. And that's when I decided, yeah, I'm gonna get this motor, I'm gonna get a bicycle of the proper year, I'm gonna graft it together. One, to have a cool bike, but more to learn exactly what could or could not have they have accomplished at the time. Obviously, they moved on quickly to bigger and better things. That's not something they stayed with. But in learning about this is a bicycle, a motor bicycle. It's loaded with bad ideas. The belt drive on it is a poor idea. It's not gonna last. It's not sturdy. Tires back in the day were very poor, but you're now adding a lot of weight to a bicycle. It's not, you know, that's why these didn't work. They learned a lot from them, but they had to move on. Bigger motors, bigger wheels, bigger tires, heavy spokes, heavy handlebars. They had to move forward. So they learned a lot from things like this, but that's how you learn in anything in life. I think you make mistakes and you go on. And that's kind of where my interest was in this thing.
Now we are watching Speedway bikes. Speedway bikes are specially built motorcycles. Lightweight, 170 pound, 500 singles up front. Looks like Jeff Orth, who is leading. Looks like he's running away with this race. Battle for second between Jesse Diem and Michael Collin, number 33E. Great battle for second place. But picking up the win, looking great out here. Race number 1, first heat race for the Speedway bike. It is Jeff Orth. Second place, Jesse Diem. Third place, Michael Callan. Fourth place, Michael Campaign. And fifth place went to Daniel Weiss. Speedway bikes on this beautiful half mile. And now we're gonna go to one of the Speedway riders.
Hi, my name's Warren Diem. I'm from Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Today we're riding a long track, a half mile. This is only the second one I've ever did. We're on a special prepared Jawa long tracker. It's really great. I usually ride a 750 or a 450. These are totally different. They're only 170 pounds. They're a real handful. Run away from my 750 and not much more I can say. The best fun you can have with your clothes on.
And now, the A-Main. Speedway, jumping out front, it looks like Jess Orth. Warren Diem is second. Warren Dean, Daniel Welch running third. Steven Brinker running fourth. Positions in this race are determined by those 6 heat races. Jeff Orth still up front. Warren Dean right with him. Daniel Welch running third. These boys are flying around this half-mile track. Wauseon, Ohio. Look at the style. Great ride. Jeff Orth, Warren Dean second, Daniel Welch third, Stephen Baker fourth, David Welch fifth. Justin is running in 6th place. Look at this boy go. Jeff Orth is flying. Warren Dean. Daniel Welch goes by. Steven Brinker. Picking up the win, Jeff Orth. Second place, Warren Dean, Daniel Welch. And now we're looking at the 500 brakeless class. These are the bikes that ran through the 60s. It was the 500 singles, overhead valve, and some twins, Triumph twins, overhead valve. Battling against the Harley Davidson 750s, but they have broken them up. This is 500 brakeless. Doug Horner from Gatesville, Ohio on the Triumph, battling out there with Gene Atherton from Constantine, Michigan. Ronnie Atherton from White Pigeons is running up there in the top 3 also. Carl Forkey from Newcastle on the Harley Davidson. Maybe they're allowing Harleys to race. Got Craig Breckens running in 5th place. Got a great Triumph, but he's just not getting around as quick as these guys. 3-way battle. Gene Atherton, Doug Horner, Ronnie Atherton battling up front. Top 3. 4th place, Carl Forkey and Craig Brecken running 5th. Battle up front, it is Horner on the Triumph, battling Gene Atherton, also on the Triumph. 500 twins. Horner's up front, Atherton second, Ronnie Atherton running third. The 6-lap main event, Carl Fortney, Craig Brecken, Paul Bailey. White flag, I believe, it is Horner down low, got the lead on the outside. It is Gene Atherton. Gene Atherton's got a little more poke, gets a little more traction down the back straightaway. Gene Atherton goes on to pick up the win. Doug Horner second, Ronnie Atherton third, Carl Fortney fourth, Craig Brecken, Paul Bailey, and Joe Gibbs running in 7th place. Great, and now we're looking at open finish, heat number 1 I'm in this race with my 750 Triumph Trackmaster frame. Wait for the referee. Got one bike coming up close to the line. It looks like it's time to go. 9 bikes in this heat race. Let's wait for the green light. Start all the way on the outside. Don't know if this is the right choice. 5 bikes jumping out ahead of me. Get by one. Another one comes by on the outside. What am I doing so low? I'm going to head out to the outside. Trying to cushion. Stay on the gas. Way out wide. Drop down. Cut across turn 4. Down the front straightaway. Stay on the gas. Head up to the hay bales. This is a great cushion track, and this is how you're supposed to race motorcycles. In the dirt, up in the cushion, squaring the corner off. Triumph's running great up front on a Honda Ascot. They're allowing the 4-valve Honda Ascot to ride with us. Jordan Barber from Carlisle, Iowa. I'm running second on the Triumph. John Glenda on the Triumph. Right behind me running third. Fourth place, Terry Weaver. Fifth place, Bill Dunlap. Sixth place, Steve Heilman, an old road racing friend of mine, running up by the cushion. That's why I came. My goal is to find the best cushion in the nation. Wauseon, Ohio, heading down the front straightaway one more time. Checkered flag, I finished second. Jordan Barber first. John Glenda third from Michigan. Now, 750, open, vintage, open amateur, wait for the start. I'm on the Team Chicago, Triumph 750. I get by this one bike, got 5 bikes out in front already. There goes another one. Am I running 6th place right now? A Cycle World, Maxim 75, the cable lock, 4 and 6 racing. Running 6th place. Up front it is Eric Kalenda, the youngster in the Yamaha. Aaron Long running 2nd. Ted Schmitt 3rd. Steve Swindler 4th. Rich Long is 5th. I'm running 6th. I'm trying to look for the cushion, but I'm not getting too close. So I'm not driving like I did in the heat race. Ran 2nd in the heat. Running 6th place right now. Beautiful Wauseon. Cushion track. Northwest Ohio, on the checkered flag, picking up the win, Eric Kalenda, Aaron Long, Ted Smith, all on Yamaha, Steven Swingler, Rich Long, on Triumph, Dwayne Gordon on the Yamaha, and I'm on the Triumph 750. Good day at Wauseon. Now we're looking at Open Pro Twin, 2 heat races. Justin Ziegler up front on the Triumph. 2nd place is Danny Moran. 3rd place, Patrick May on the Yamaha. Ron Kennedy is running in 4th. Picking up the win, it is Justin Ziegler. Danny Morana ran 2nd. This is Twin Pro, 2nd heat race. Look at that start. Jumping off the line, it looks like Jack Warner, Merle Worth, Eric Kalenda, the youngster. 3-man battle, Kalenda, Warner, first. Triumph, Yamaha, Triumph, battling it out. All 750s coming by now. Kalenda's still up front, right with him. That's Jack Warner. Shadowing him is Merle Worth. Leonard Speaker is running in 4th. Don Bannerman is running 5th. I think Harley Davidson and checkered flag picking up the win by a nose. It is Jack Warren from Millington, Michigan over Eric Kalenda from Grand Rapids. Merle Worth from Wheeler, Michigan running 3rd. Finally, last race of the day. Pro Twins jumping off the line. Looks like Jack Warner got the good start right with him. Eric Kalenda, Danny Morana, fourth place, Justin Ziegler, Merle Wirtz, Patrick May, Jack Warner. Jack Warner, who's about 65 years old. He is looking great. Battle between Danny Miranda, Eric Galenda, and Justin Ziegler. All these youngsters, young riders in their 20s, up front, showing everybody the fast way on that Merle Wirtz prepared Triumph. That is Jack Warner. Jack Warner from Millington, Michigan. He has won hundreds of races. He's in his about 65, 66 years old. He is flying. Second place, Danny Verana. Eric Galenda running third on the Yamaha. Justin Ziegler on the Triumph running fourth. Merle Wirtz battling with Ziegler. But it is Jack Warner picking up the win. Danny Verana running second. Eric Galenda third. Justin Ziegler, Merle Wirtz from Wheeler, Michigan. And that's it. Final event. Open Pros Twins.
What a great day. What a great swap meet. Wauseon, Ohio. For information, 2022, the race is July 15th on Friday. Go to rotorracing.com. On Facebook, it's Rotor Racing page on Facebook. Contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. You can also go to Rumble and search with Dan Schmitt TV. And I highly recommend a visit to the World of the Motorcycle Museum off Indiana 39, Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles.